The Auditor-General provides assurance to Parliament on the accountability and performance of the Victorian public sector. The Auditor-General conducts financial audits and performance audits and reports on the results of these audits to Parliament. On the 5th of August 2015, the Auditor-General tabled his performance audit report, follow-up of managing major projects. This report is part of the second phase of VAGO's follow-up program. The first phase involved all agencies audited in 2012-13 self-attesting to their progress in implementing recommendations. In the second phase, we selected 3 audits based on an assessment of risk and materiality for detailed follow-up to verify the information the agencies reported. The aim was to provide further information to Parliament and the community about improvements that agencies may have made since the initial audit. We assessed 3 things. First, that agencies had acted to implement the recommendations that they'd agreed to. Second, that the actions they undertook address the underlying issues that led to the recommendation being made. And third, that agency audit committees were assessing the actions for impact as they are required to do. Major Projects Victoria, or MPV, was established to provide project delivery and development services across the Victorian public sector for complex, technically challenging or unique projects of state significance. In October 2012, VAGO tabled an audit managing major projects, which examined how MPV was managing major capital projects and whether there were frameworks in place to enable MPV to assess and report performance and demonstrate value for money. The audit concluded that MPV was not able to demonstrate that it operated effectively, efficiently, or economically. There was poor oversight, and a lack of effective internal controls had contributed to poor governance standards and a lack of organisational integrity and accountability. The audit made 22 recommendations, 18 aimed at MPV, 3 at the former Department of Business and Innovation, and 1 at the Department of Treasury and Finance. The audit included MPV, which is located within the Department of Economic Development, Jobs, Transport and Resources. The one recommendation made to the Department of Treasury and Finance was excluded. In February 2015, MPV reported that it had implemented all 21 recommendations. However, we found that MPV had addressed only 15 of 21 recommendations, and these actions only brought MPV to the standard expected of all public sector entities. Inadequately addressed recommendations around contractors, fraud risk assessment, and other governance and project management issues continue our concerns around integrity and accountability. Despite our 2012 recommendation that MPV recruit from within the Victorian public sector, MPV advertised for contractors just weeks after the 2012 audit was completed. Engaging contractors has a significant cost and raises questions around MPV's value for money. MPV has 4 executive officers and 5 contractors that cost the organisation around $2.8 million a year, more than a quarter of its total annual cost. MPV has 5 contracts in place that could last as long as 5 years, despite a lack of certainty around future projects. Contractors are paid monthly retainers ranging from $23,000 to $33,000, regardless of the hours worked or leave taken. This is one of the factors that blurs the lines between contractor and employee. MPV's fraud risk assessment, commissioned by the former Department of State Development, Business and Innovation, was inadequate. It did not comprehensively assess risk across MPV's business, including procurement, which is a key MPV function. MPV are still without a long-term strategic plan. This is inadequate given MPV's unique role in the public sector. MPV has improved its external and internal performance reporting. MPV's Budget Paper 3 measures have been improved, providing a more transparent assessment. Significant improvement around MPV's governance is still required. MPV's project management activities have seen varied improvements since 2012. MPV is without processes to collect industry information. While it collects the lessons learned internally, it does not have a sound process to translate these into new practices or updated guidelines. Such a process is an element of continuous improvement, and MPV's lack thereof is a fundamental shortcoming. MPV released updated project management guidance in February 2015. It also created governance guidelines for projects without external clients or end users. MPV also improved the controls around its financial management system, where previously key information was being changed. Reporting issues have also been addressed by defining and reporting against key data. Audit committees play a key role in the follow-up process. Under the Minister for Finance's standing directions, audit committees are required to monitor the implementation of recommendations. This includes reviewing the impact of actions undertaken. The Department of State Development, Business and Innovation's Audit Committee monitored the recommendation progress. This included developing a special subcommittee to monitor the implementation of our 2012 recommendations. The Chair of the Department of State Development, Business and Innovation's Audit and Risk Committee was appointed to provide independent oversight, but attended less than a third of meetings. All other members were departmental staff. More broadly, there is no review framework in place, meaning there is no consistent review of the impact of external recommendations. As a consequence, the Audit Committee cannot hold management to account or assure itself that its actions taken in response to recommendations are effective in addressing the underlying issues. The key messages from the audit are that a significant improvement to governance is still required, as are improved systems to embed the lessons learnt from projects. The Department of Economic Development, Jobs, Transport and Resources needs to develop a framework to support its audit committee to review the impact of recommendations. Overall, MPV has taken action to address most recommendations. However, it has not adequately addressed the most significant issues, and so concerns around integrity and accountability remain. All our reports are available on our website. If you have any questions about this or other reports, or if you have anything else you would like to discuss with us, including ideas for future audit topics, please call us on 03 8601 7000 or contact us via our website.